This Icon podcast is hosted and sponsored by Sphere Rocket Virtual Assistants, a leading provider for your virtual assistants and outsourcing needs. Owned by one of the top-ranking EXP agents, Justin Nelson. Sphere Rocket VA provides a one-stop virtual staffing solution for business owners, and we specialize in helping business owners grow their business by leveraging through virtual assistants. Trusted by the top names in the real estate industry like Kyle Whistle, Andrew Franklin, John Kitchens, and many more. Get ready to up your success and we'll help you achieve your business goals. Book your free consultation at sphererocketva.com and find out how we can make your life easier.
Hello. Welcome back to another episode of the Icon Podcast. I'm your host, Gianna, and today, fun episode, finally getting around to all the appointments I've had set at shareholders. Alan, I got to interact with you there, hang out a little bit, so super excited to have you finally and get to hear your story.
Yeah, awesome. It's great to be here. Thank you for the invite. We had such a great time at shareholders. And, just meeting with you and your team over at the booth and seeing all the great presentations y'all had, honestly, meeting with you guys was easily one of the highlights of the trip, right? And then the podcast on top of it, just icing on the cake. So thank you for having me.
Absolutely. It's my pleasure, Alan. So let's jump into your story with EXP, right? How did you, I guess first, let's talk about your story with real estate, right? So how did you wind up in the real estate industry? What market are you in? What's your story to the career path you're on now?
For sure. So I've been in the real estate business since 2016. Got started in 2016, and I started with a medium-sized brokerage. I'm based out of San Antonio, Texas. So right when I got licensed, I got started with a medium-sized brokerage based out of San Antonio and Austin. It was great. I loved it. I loved my broker. I loved the team over there. And I learned a lot about real estate, but I wasn't really learning about how to generate business, how to run a business, anything like that. So luckily, I was working part-time back then. I was working as a pharmacy technician, and that's the only thing that kept me above water. But also around that time, so myself and my brother were both in the real estate business together, and we both started at the same time. And we are the property hermanos team with EXP Realty. So anyway, we both started at the same time. And we were both musicians. So, we were professional musicians, aspiring musicians. We were really trying to do it big. We had a great management company, and we did some touring, and we did some big time recording, on the West Coast and all this other kind of stuff. But we knew we needed something more. We needed, times were getting a little harder, right? And we needed to make something happen for ourselves. And all the guys in the band, they started having families and getting married, and life was happening and stuff like that. So real estate was a natural transition for us. Our parents are real estate investors. And so we knew that what they were doing was working for them. So we knew we had to get into that. So anyway, we started with a small, medium-sized brokerage, needed a little more lead gen kind of coaching and stuff like that. So we moved to a small boutique broker that was only about 35 agents there. And we loved it there, and we were doing very well. We were, in the top producer category with that company. We loved our broker. They taught us a ton. And then we saw EXP, and when they tell you that you see EXP, once you see it, you can't unsee it. That's the truth. The funny thing is I actually went to an EXP luncheon, and I didn't tell my brother I was going, right? Because we were at this boutique broker. I didn't tell him I was going, but something had piqued my interest. When I first heard that the revenue share and the stock and everything like that, when I heard that was able to be willed to your children and to your family and everything like that, when you either retire or when you pass on, right? I said, oh my gosh, this is a game changer, right? Because that's your legacy. Mm-hmm. And we knew we were having fun in real estate, but we knew we wanted to build something that we could pass on. So when I heard that, I reached out to the gentleman who had first told me about EXP in 2016, and his name is Tyler Royke. I said, Tyler, I'm ready to learn more. Like, I need to learn more. So anyway, I reached out to him. I went to a luncheon. My brother was quite upset with me for going, because he said, man, you're going to hear everything you want to hear. They're going to tell you everything you want to hear. And you're going to call me after the lunch and you're going to tell me, you got to check this out. This is awesome. And I said, no, I'm going with an open mind. I'm just going to check it out. Nothing set in stone, right? So right after the luncheon, sure enough, I called him and I said, dude, you got to check this out. Like, it blew my mind, right? So we were happy where we were. It's not that we were unhappy, because that's not the case at all. And he was very adamant. He said, I don't want to move. I like what we have going here. So I said, okay. So we just kind of let it kind of simmer, and I was, honestly, Gianna, I was ready to just give up on the EXP thing, because I had made a decision. When we first started, my brother and I were at two separate companies, and that was not fun, right? Because we're a very family oriented, family, and we would go to family dinners, and he would tell me, my broker is better than yours, and you should come over here, and we have this, and blah blah. And it was weird,
Didn't want to talk about business when you're home with the
family. Yeah, and we had done the music thing, and we were together with that, and then we were at different companies, and he would ask for help, and I wasn't familiar with those systems, and vice versa, right? So I made a decision. I said, I'm not going to go to another company unless we go together, right? So I kept on kind of, throwing it out there. Hey, let's take a look at it. Hey, come to a luncheon. Hey, let's consider it. He was against it, and months went by. And what I tell people, I tell people this story. My brother and I love Thai food. We went to a Thai restaurant for lunch, and I had made up my mind. I was ready to tell him, you know what? Let's just forget about this EXP thing. We don't need to do it. We're doing well. Let's get better at what we're doing.
Yeah.
And I sat across from him and I told him that. And at the time, he was expecting his first baby, right? So him and his wife were expecting their first little one. And he said, you know what? I was actually thinking we should look at EXP. And like my jaw dropped to the floor. I couldn't believe it. I was like, what are you talking about? And he put it very plainly. He said, when we look back at our real estate career, if we look back 5 years or 10 years from now, when we look back, what are we going to have that we built?
Just a lot of money left on the table.
That's right. And I love the way he puts it. He says, I would be irresponsible and this is his words. He said, I would be irresponsible as a husband and father if I didn't do this, because of, not only the higher commission splits, but the revenue share, the stock, the Icon Award, all of these things that are building in the background, right? And we just knew that if we stayed on the same trajectory, we would be waking up January 1st of every year, worried about where our next check was going to come from. We got to make another sale. And so we knew we needed to do something to where we could sell at a high level and build not only our retirement, but our legacy while we were doing it. So we ended up joining in February 2019. We joined EXP, and we've been loving it ever since. And we hit Icon for the first time November of 2021. And we're already on our path to hit Icon for this year. Our goal is to try to hit it by September of this year. So we're going for our second Icon. So we're super excited about it.
Congratulations. That's really awesome. And how long have you been over at EXP again?
We started February 2019.
Okay.
Is when we started with EXP. Yeah.
So we're on the hot track to iconing again. And I totally get where you're coming from. Musician life, looking for more of a, stable income. It's tough. I live in Nashville, Tennessee, so
Yeah.
I see that go down every single day. And that's just incredible, your story with your career coming over to EXP. And obviously, you know, that favorite part for you is building that brand, that legacy for your family to pass on. That's incredible. And Alan, before we start diving into the Icon Award, I mean, you've literally blown through my first 3 questions. You've done awesome without even being prompted. So I don't know if you checked out a couple episodes or you're cheating or what, but that was awesome.
That's our story, and we're sticking to it. No,
I love it.
Yeah, we enjoy it.
Absolutely. Well, Alan, you know, you come from a music world, you're a family-oriented guy. And the next question is, you know, how do you chase that work-life balance? How do you make sure that you're drawing the boundaries where business and play go? Because if you let it, you know, real estate will literally run your life. So how do you make sure to chase that work-life balance that everybody talks about, but nobody has seemed to perfect?
Right. And that's a fantastic question. And it's a perpetual quest for that, right? The good thing is, you know, for myself, I feel that everything that we're doing it's very fulfilling, right? So, you know, we're not stuck in we're not in a cubicle, we're not in an office, we're not limited by our time and everything like that. So the big thing for us, and we've always had this mantra, is that customer service is our number one objective.
Absolutely.
If you take care of the customer service, the rest takes care of itself. The commissions, the pay, the momentum, everything takes care of itself. So it's hard for us, and you know, honestly, I think I could probably say we're still struggling with drawing that boundary. The good thing is we have families and spouses that are 100% supportive of everything we're doing. You know, for example, my wife is also a realtor with EXP, so she understands, you know, if a phone call comes in or if we have paperwork we need to tend to or showings from, you know, clients out of town, whatever the case is, she's very supportive and understanding. My brother's wife she's actually a pharmacist. She's in the medical field. So, you know, she understands the long hours and the sacrifice and stuff like that. We're trying to get better at the work-life balance. But really
it's
right
something
now,
you always have to chase, though, especially because life is the only thing that's consistent in life is change, right?
For sure. And, you know, one of the things that we really feel we need to capitalize on right now is the momentum, right? And we see agents and colleagues of ours, they go on a hot streak and then they let off the gas. And, you know, I understand they want some more balance and they want some, but, you know, in this kind of market, in this atmosphere, in this sales atmosphere, you know, me personally, I'd rather go full speed, you know, for 2, 3, 4 years, right? And then be able to let off the gas and say, okay, I gave it 100%. Now I need to let off. But, you know, right now, you know, we're chasing our second icon. You know, we're capitalizing on the market. You know, the market's kind of shifting and cooling down, and, you know, it's getting the buyers and sellers that are not serious. It's kind of, you know,
getting them out of there, or
it's kind of, you know, they're kind of getting, now they're back on the sidelines, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But now it's like, okay, now we need to go maybe even a little bit harder. We need to push a little bit harder. You know, even when COVID first hit, right? Nobody knew that was coming, and nobody knew how it was going to affect our business. And we had colleagues, we had financial advisors, we had people in the mortgage industry, we had everybody telling us that real estate was going to take such a big hit and take a dive and everything like that. Yeah, I know, for real. And there were a lot of agents, they said, oh, I guess I can't do anything, and we're gonna let everything that's happening dictate our next moves, you know. And a lot of those agents, they either got out of the business or they lost all their momentum and now they're back working part-time somewhere else or whatever. We knew that we needed to push harder.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my gosh, okay, if things are going to get harder, then we need to push harder, right? And that's kind of where we're at right now. So in a roundabout way, to answer your question, we're still on the quest to get that balance, but we know not and not only that, we're having a lot of fun doing what we're doing. It's fun, it's fulfilling. We enjoy helping our clients. We enjoy helping them achieve their goals and get where they want to go, right? Because what do they say, right? If you help enough people get what they want, you will get what you want, right? And that's kind of our mantra. So really, we have fun. And then, I spend a lot of time outside of work, with my brother and his family. And we talk about real estate and we joke about it and we talk about the ups and downs and the wins and losses and everything. So
Of course, yeah.
a lot of that is fun for us too. And even with my wife here at home, we talk about what's going on, what obstacles do we have, so it's a fun industry. And luckily, a lot of the time we don't even see it as work. So it's fun for us. We're having fun, and we're here to make hay when the sun is shining, right? So we gotta keep going full steam.
Yeah, absolutely, Alan. And it's really just everybody comes to the real estate industry because they're like, oh, I get to pick my own schedule, but they don't understand all the sacrifices that come with it as well. You do get a little bit of freedom in that. It's not the traditional 9 to 5, but you still have client commitments and, showings that you're really not even paid for if that buyer decides to exit the market, and a lot of work that can go unrecognized for a while. And so, making sure that you're balancing family and, having those boundaries and enjoying your time in just this industry that can be, so give or take. It's really important,
right,
to say the least. And Alan, my next question is going to be focusing more on the Icon Award, right? So in your market, you're down in Texas. I'm in Tennessee, so you're just south of me here. But so what's the average home price in your city? About how many houses does it take for you to cap? Obviously, for those listening, if it's your first time, there's 20 transactions after capping. But depending on your housing price down there, you can cap in 3 transactions or 13 transactions. So what's that look like for you?
Yeah, so that's a funny question, because even when we started, with the way that the market's been going and home appreciation has been going, back when we started, even in 2019, I think the median price was somewhere around, 240, somewhere around there, 240,000. So back then, we were looking at, okay, to cap, it'll probably be, 10 to 12 transactions, just depending on where the price point is. So maybe 10 to 12 transactions to cap. And then you have your 20 after that. Well, now the median price right now in San Antonio is well over 300,000. So, we can probably, what would the cap be? I don't know, maybe 8 or 9 transactions.
Okay.
And then the 20 after that to hit the Icon. So, the prices have gone up a little bit, but with the market shift, it's the buyer demand is still super hot. I think there's a lot of stuff going on in Texas, and now San Antonio is actually the fastest growing market in all of Texas.
Really? Okay.
There are a lot of people coming to San Antonio from Austin. Austin, the prices in Austin in comparison to San Antonio, those prices are astronomically higher than living in San Antonio. But we still have a lot of people coming from out of state, people coming from the West Coast, coming from the East Coast, even coming from the Midwest, looking at San Antonio. And then in San Antonio, also in surrounding areas, there's areas like New Braunfels, San Marcos, Bernie, Fair Oaks, all those areas surrounding San Antonio, they're all in super high demand. And a lot of those areas, the price points are actually a little bit higher. So, when we're talking to agents that are, working towards Icon, and even when we're trying to gauge our own activity, our goal is always to have, because we don't want to look at it like, okay, cap and then 20 more. We'd rather look at it, if we have 4 closings a month, right? We're icon for sure. So we just look at, okay, what do we need to do every day in our prospecting, in our marketing, in our everything, so that way we can hit our goal, 4 closings a month, 3, and it's really 3 to 4, right? 3 to 4, but if we can hit 4, then we'll hit it faster, which is even better, right? So our goal is 4 closings a month. We'll be icon every time. So that's our goal. We try to break it down to where we can, bite off a little bit at a time, instead of looking at, oh my God, I have to do 32 transactions to hit icon. It's like, no, let's just do 3 to 4 a month. Right. And if we hit that goal, we take that and then we icon all the way. So that's how we try to break it down to make it as easy and attainable as possible.
That's a great way to break it down. Little goals, little steps lead to, big adventures. And so, Alan, it's more than just the production when it comes to iconing, though. It's a lot about that cultural commitment. So you could be, from the way you have it structured, it sounds to me like you'd maybe be a mentor. But, there's that vetting other icons, there's teaching in EXP world. So, I just like to guess. I may be wrong, and there's no right or wrong answer. But what's typically your cultural commitment when it comes to fulfilling that area of the Icon Award?
Of course. Yeah. So I am a certified mentor with the company.
Awesome.
And I enjoy it. I really enjoy it a lot. I love the teaching aspect of the real estate business. And I'm actually working on my broker's license right now. So one of my goals, I want to become a broker by the end of this year. That's my goal, is to finish all my classes and take my tests. But I love the teaching aspect. I have family members. My grandfather was a college instructor, and he taught me a lot. And I think I've had a lot of great teachers throughout my schooling years, and in high school and beyond. And I think a lot of their teaching styles and passion for teaching kind of rubbed off on me. So I enjoy that. So I am a mentor. And I'm really happy. I just graduated 2 mentees last week. So
awesome.
I'm excited about that. So I love helping new agents through their first transactions. And really, the main reason is because I had great mentors when I first got into the business, right? It was my very first day in the real estate business. And it was day 1. I got there. I didn't know anything about, when you pass your real estate test, that doesn't really have anything to do with the actual real estate business, right? So I got there and I get a phone call from my very first client. And my very first client was my dad. Okay. And he was like, son, I want to put in an offer. And I was like, I have no idea where to even start with that.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, it's like, do I just call him and tell him? I had no clue.
Where do we get this money from? Does anybody?
Yeah. Do I need to fill out a form? Like I had no clue, right?
Is there a link for that anywhere?
Yeah, I wasn't even.
No, real estate school doesn't teach you that.
No, I was like, I think there's a form somewhere. I have no idea. So anyway, my dad calls. I want to put in an offer, son. I'm glad you started in real estate. I want to put in an offer. So I was like, oh my God. So I went to my very first mentor with my first company. His name was Alberto Hernandez. I said, Alberto, I need your help, man. I have a troubled client right now. It was my dad. And he wants to put in an offer. I need your help. So, and he was very busy. He was a sales manager at the time, and, was helping train the new agents. And he took time out of his schedule. My dad actually came into the office, sat down. We drafted the offer together. We pulled up the contract on the overhead, on the TV in the back. So he helped me. So, that personal attention that I got early in my career, I felt like I needed to pass that on and help new agents. And it happens a lot, right off the bat, everyone teaches these new agents, okay, you need to tell everybody that you're an agent. You need to reach out to your sphere. You need to make your calls. You need to introduce yourself on social as a realtor, right? But then someone responds and they don't know what to do. So it's like, okay, let's get an MLS search going. Let's route out some showings. Okay, you have an offer. Where are we going to start? So I love the hands-on with new agents. And I like to pass that on when we're talking about the EXP opportunity, right? I reach out to new agents and I say, hey, not only would I love to, extend the EXP opportunity to you, but I'd love the opportunity to be your mentor, right? If you'd have me, and that's what we try to attract talent. We try to attract agents that are hungry for it, that are wanting something more for themselves and their family and stuff like that. And we want to bring on good people, good colleagues, and so I like to use that as an attraction tool. I'd love to tell you about EXP and give you the opportunity. I'd love to mentor you. So I love that the Icon program allows the mentorship to be part of the cultural, piece of the puzzle, because I feel like a good mentor will not only help you in the future, but it'll get you excited about the industry from the beginning. And we talk to a lot of agents and they say, I couldn't get in touch with my mentor, or my mentor was too busy, or
I hate that.
I couldn't, I didn't get the help that I needed, and I felt like I was drowning.
And that mentorship is so important, like you said, with not knowing what's going on and where to begin. And that's, that's something that EXP offers, obviously, with the certified mentorship program. But keep going, Alan. You're doing great.
I love the teaching. I love the mentorship. And I love being able to offer that. So I'm glad the Icon program, puts that as one of the pieces of the puzzle, and I'm happy to do that.
Absolutely. And, for my last question, in regards to the Icon Award, what is your favorite part about it, Alan? I mean, obviously, it's easy for you to catch referrals because you are so trusted by EXP and other people in the brokerage from around the country. And obviously, you get that cat back in stock, a big glass shiny trophy. So what's your favorite part? What makes you say, I've got to keep iconing?
So that's a great question. For me, the Icon Award it wasn't a luxury for myself in joining EXP. For me, it was a necessity. And the reason I say that is because I've always felt like, in order for, what do they say, right? Inspired people inspire people, right?
Absolutely.
And that's always been my objective. Even when my brother and I first started with EXP, one of his big things was, I don't know about this whole agent attraction thing. I don't know that I want to participate in it. And I said, I don't even know if I mentioned, my brother's name is Daniel Lozano. And I told him, I said, Daniel, we don't have to do that. We don't have to attract. We don't have to focus too much on that aspect. We're starting with a new company. Our number one objective needs to be to up our production, period. Because in upping our production, not only are we doing better in commissions, but, we need to hit that milestone so that way we can, what do they say, right? Don't follow the advice of someone who hasn't done what you're trying to do.
Right.
So for us, it was a necessity. It was like, we need to icon or bust. Like if we're not iconing, if we're not getting the Icon Award, we're doing something wrong. Because it's like, how can, not only for our clients, right? Because, when your clients feel that they're in, like you were saying, like trusted hands, right? Someone who's who's producing at a high level and taking care of a lot of different scenarios, it makes your clients feel more comfortable, and you're able to develop as a leader when you've achieved those things. Like I always say, and really what, one of the main things, we were really striving for it in the music business, right? We wanted to hit that level so that way we could say that we've achieved it, right? But we really couldn't, you really can't capitalize on that high level until you do it. It's like a Major League Baseball player, right? If you want to come back and teach college players or high school players or the first thing they're going to say is, did you play Major League Ball? And if you say, no, I didn't, it's like, well, I need to learn from someone who's played, like someone who's played in the majors, So for us, the Icon Award is the majors, right? Because we're
absolutely. It's in a big group that's like top 2%, 3% of the company. There's only about 2,400 agents,
right? And we're honored to be included with those agents and those from all over the world, right? And it really is a big honor for us. But we knew that we needed to hit that level to get not only it's not about the attention, it's not about the recognition, it's just about saying we've done it and now we want to help you do it, right? So that was the big thing for us, because our whole thing is we want to pour into our agents. We want our agents to be bigger and better and badder than us, right? But we need to be able to say, we've hit it. This is what we did. Here's the playbook. And if you want to hit it, you can do it too. Let's do it together, right? So that was the big thing with the Icon. We knew it was a necessity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. That Icon Award, I mean, like you said, is just so reputable and like the elite status that it brings you. And I love that you have really taken advantage of that. And that's why you want to keep iconing, not just the stock, not just, the reputation, but really like all the benefits that it brings to you, your brand, and how much you can help other people in that mentorship. Which is great, which is really cool to hear, because the number one answer I hear is the stocks, which but it's always refreshing to get a little bit of a different perspective on that.
Yeah, and the stock, and I mean that's just the icing on top of everything, right? Kind of like I had mentioned before, it's almost like if you take care of the basics, if you take care of serving the clients, if you take care of the customer service, everything else falls into place, right? And those are all just byproducts of top-notch customer service and attention to detail, right? So, even last year when we hit Icon, I got the notification that we had, fulfilled the requirement for the Icon. I said, I wasn't even paying, honestly, I wasn't even really paying attention to it, because we get into such a mode to where it's like, okay, we have these many deals in escrow, we have these in the wings, we have these in the pipeline, and we're just going, and then we get notification, oh, you hit Icon. It's like, awesome, we got to keep going. We didn't, and there's I think there's a plus and minus to that. We really didn't stop to enjoy it too much, because we were on such, the momentum was so strong. But again, we like to push, hard. We like to, go at a high level. So, absolutely. But yeah, the stock and everything, those are all great additions to it. Yeah, I would say.
And like you said, Alan, like you guys just keep going. You hardly ever stop to enjoy the Icon aspect of it. So that's why one of my beginning questions is, how do you fight this this grind? How do you take time to step back and enjoy as well? And Alan, we touched on it, kind of touch and go here, just through, your mentorship brain and just the way you think. But obviously, iconing your first year, breaking it down into smaller goals to be able to reach that big goal. So as somebody that's iconed a couple times now, and you're looking your mentor. So somebody is out there looking at joining EXP, rookies, experienced people, and they see this icon award and they're like, wow, this is amazing. My brokerage doesn't offer that. So what is some advice for, either a rookie or somebody new to EXP and iconing their first year? Is that possible? Is that even something they should focus on? How would we go about that goal?
Absolutely. So that's a great question. I mean, it's 100% achievable for anybody. And that's one of the huge EXP advantages is that everybody has the same opportunity. That there are no special deals. There's no special, treatment if you're a high level team leader or, everyone gets the same deal and everyone has the same opportunity. And that's really what we stress with EXP is it's we're not trying to recruit agents. I'm not trying to attract agents necessarily. We're trying to give them an opportunity.
Right.
EXP is an opportunity to grow. It's an opportunity to earn. And what we tell people all the time, with EXP, you can earn your commissions, which is just earning a living, right? Because your commissions are just your wages. And everyone lives on their wages, right? But wealth isn't built on your wages. Okay? So we say you can earn your wages. You can fund your retirement, right? Using the agent equity program. So that's one aspect. Then the stock awards that EXP just gives you. Hey, you sold your first deal for the year. Here's free stock. Oh,
yeah,
you cap.
I know. Amazing, right?
Here's some more free stock. Oh, you icon. Here's your full cap back. Congratulations. It's like what? Yeah, and so then you have so that's funding your retirement, right? With your stock. And then you have your revenue share, which is, the referral fee that you're paid on the transactions for agents that you shared the opportunity with, right? And that keeps on growing. And it eventually gets to a point to where it grows without you even touching it or knowing about it, or people are joining the company. You have no idea where they're from. You don't know who they are, but it takes on a life of its own. So you're earning your wages, funding your retirement, building your wealth, and leaving a legacy, right? We touched on that earlier, leaving a legacy for your family. And it's all from just doing the same thing, from selling real estate. So I look at, and I have a lot of great friends in the business, and I love them and I love their family, and I love what they're doing and what they've built. And I feel like they're high producers. They're good people. They have great charisma. They have great sales technique, right?
Right.
But they're going on a 1-to-1 ratio of sell a house, get paid. Sell a house, get paid. Sell a house, get paid. And the only way they can make more money is to sell more houses.
Right. And
that's rough, right? And when Daniel and I made the decision to join EXP, that was the number one reason is, I look up to the agents that have been in the business for, 30, 40, 50 years plus, right? But we knew that we didn't, I don't want to be 75 years old, 80 years old, putting lock boxes on houses and showing people,
no sense of retirement fund there.
Yeah, there's no exit strategy, right? So, we need an exit strategy. We need a way to build wealth. We need a way to leave something for our loved ones. And we're still earning that. All that being said, that doesn't mean you can't sell a lot of real estate.
Right.
I mean, you can still sell, and the more real estate you sell, the more equity you get in the company. You're going to icon every year. which is more equity in the company. And that's what I love. You hear the guys like Grant Cardone, right? They say, I need that vitamin E. Mm-hmm. It's the equity in the company. And no one's going to care for, same thing in real estate. No one's going to care for a house like the owner. The owner is going to care for it. There's going to be pride of ownership. When you bring a renter or a temporary renter, a short-term renter in there, yeah, they're going to appreciate your house, but they're not going to care for it because it's not theirs, right? Mm. In EXP, everyone is an owner of the company. So we take care of our company and we take care of what we're building because we own it. So that's the difference. And, we get calls all the time, trying to get us to go to other brokerages, trying to get us to take a look at another model or take a look at their brand new office, or we're opening a new branch, or whatever the case. Yeah. And my brother and I asked 2 questions. Number 1, are you going to give me ownership in the company? Number 2, am I going to be paid referral fee from every agent that I bring on for all of their transactions every year without fail? And not only that, from the agents they bring, are you going to pay me referral fees on those? Yeah. If the answer is no to either one or both of those, the phone call's over. we can't do it. There's no, we cannot go back to the traditional way because EXP has developed they've set the bar so high for the way agents should be not only compensated, but treated as owners of the company.
And like you said, Alan, what better way for employee retention than to give your employees a piece of the pie?
100%.
Really?
100%.
And like that boosts morale, it boosts, having people come over to the brokerage. And here's the thing, if you're listening right now and you're like, holy smokes, there's been a lot of talk about recruiting. You don't have to recruit a soul, okay? Nope. If you don't want to. But here's the exciting thing about recruiting here is I've talked to Icon agents that make $8,000 a month off of their downline, off of people they've recruited. And they don't even have to, of course, because Icons are the way that they are and they're so production driven, of course, they still sell homes. But, if you have a bad month, if you wind up in the hospital or something causes you to not be able to work like you want to, you still have passive income, which is incredible. Go ask your current brokerage for that. Maybe they'll start a meal train for you, send you flowers to the hospital. But if you're bedridden, you can't do your job, hey, that sucks. Get well soon.
Right.
And so
come back benefit. Come back and sell when you're better.
Yeah. You don't need physical therapy, just do showings. You're gonna be fine. So that's a really important aspect as well. And EXP has a ton of resources too. At Shareholders alone, there were resources and booths for you to get health insurance and, retirement planning and stuff like that. But, with that stock option, that's kind of retirement planning, a legacy, everything kind of comes with that itself, which is incredible. And Alan, obviously you had to have been skeptical of EXP at first, but you went to that luncheon. So before you went there, what were your thoughts about EXP? Why did you want to check out where the grass was greener?
So that's a fantastic question. So anytime the word, I guess anytime the letters, right? Anytime the letters EXP would come up, we would hear negative thoughts, right? We would hear, it's not sustainable. It's primarily a recruiting company. They don't have an
pyramid
office.
Scheme. Yeah. It's a cult.
Right. It's a pyramid, all this stuff. And what you realize very, very quickly is that the people that are saying those things are saying it because they're intimidated and they're scared and they're losing agents to EXP. So they have to try to push the propaganda. They have to try to dissuade you from, don't look at it. Don't even look at it, right? Because they know that if you look at it, you're going to be hooked on it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so that was the first thing. And it couldn't be farther from the truth, right? It's just like, taxi companies hate Uber.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Blockbuster.
People throw rocks at things that shine.
That's right. And Blockbuster, even though they had the chance to buy Netflix, right? Blockbuster hates Netflix now, right? Hotels hate Airbnb,
Mm-hmm.
right? And these are what's the common denominator with all these companies, right? The Airbnb, the Uber, the Netflix, they're all technology-based companies. And EXP is not only a super high-level real estate brokerage, but the technology aspect is so far ahead of the way that people are conducting real estate business right now.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, the naysayers, there's always going to be the naysayers, right? And what one of my mentors here in San Antonio, he's actually from Louisiana, but he comes in and he does presentations here. He says, we're not looking for the doubters, right? We're looking for the believers, right? And with this is the truth, okay? If you're a producer, you're going to be a producer anywhere you go. It doesn't matter what company you're with. It doesn't matter what brokerage you're with. It doesn't matter what CRM you use. It doesn't matter. If you're a producer, you're going to produce. If you're not a producer and you have no desire to improve, you're not going to produce.
Right.
The company and the broker does not make the agent. So we're looking for the agents that are hungry for it. They're striving for more. They want to get off the hamster wheel of sell. I didn't sell anything, so now I'm broke again, right? I better start sell. We want agents that are entrepreneurs, business oriented, looking for ownership, and that's what EXP is about. Because the crazy thing is you can tell someone about EXP, you can show them the numbers, you can bring them to the presentations, you can show them the videos, you can introduce them to the other icons and the other top producers in the company, or the revenue share giants, that are making the $8,000, $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, $50,000, $100,000 a month in revenue share that they've built in 3 to 5 years or less, right? And you can show them everything, and they'll say, "Nah, I'm good."
Yeah.
I like it where I'm at.
Well, it's like people are so defensive when you try to show them a model, and you're like, listen, I'm not working at a mall kiosk. I'm not trying to sell you a $300 hair dryer. I'm trying to sell you a completely new lifestyle, a sense of security. I'm not even sell you on it. I mean, I just want to talk to you about it. And if you go with a different sponsor, whatever, it's in the long run, it's still increasing stock. It's still increasing the success of EXP and the enticement of it. And so I totally get what you're saying there, where you can show them everything, you can give them the world, and they're still defensive, like not interested.
And that's okay. That's okay, because me personally, and I didn't even mention this earlier, right? But when I first saw EXP, from the time I first saw it until the time I joined, it took 8 months. 8 months. And that's that I was sold on it on day one, right? But everyone has to work on their time, when it's right for them. There are agents, they have a lot of deals in escrow. That's awesome, and they want to wait. But what ends up happening sometimes is they have deals in escrow, and then guess what happens? They're not going to stop generating leads. So then they have 3 deals in escrow. They're waiting for those to close. And then here comes another one. And here comes another one.
Right.
Push it another 30 days, push it another 30 days. But, and before you know it, a year or 2 years has gone by. And you go back to these agents, you say, guys, in what y'all are doing, you're leaving, just like you mentioned, you're leaving this opportunity on the table. You're leaving this stock on the table. You're leaving this revenue share on the table. You would have been earning a better split at EXP.
Yeah.
Because some of them are at a 50-50 split or a 60-40 split, 70-30. You would have made 10% more on every one of these deals. You would have been capped already.
Yep.
You would have been at 100%. And they say, well, I couldn't do it because I had these deals. And those are limiting beliefs, right?
Right.
They look at the small picture and they're missing this huge opportunity.
Oh, absolutely.
And
for the people that do see that huge opportunity, but they're scared, like you said, they've got transactions on the table. It's hard for them to leave right now, but they see the greener grass. And, what would you have to say to them to encourage them to make that jump instead of, all the things that they should be afraid of? What should they be willing to leave behind in order to make some gain with EXP? I mean, how do we have that kind of conversation? Because you've been there, your brother was there. I mean, so how did you guys have that talk and get through that conflict?
So I think there's a very easy way to break that down.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be willing to give up the good to go for the great.
Mm-hmm.
You have to, because it's about more than being comfortable where you're at. People don't like change. I think that's a natural feeling,
Right.
and people are afraid. There's some fear. There's loyalty. Loyalty is a big deal, but you have to be willing to jump.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not a jump that you're going to regret. It's a jump that's going to do better for yourself, your family, your retirement, and your legacy.
Mm-hmm.
And with every transaction, I mean, even in the agent equity program, right? If you can take every transaction that you do, these agents that are doing 30 deals, 40 deals, 50 deals, 100 deals a year.
Yeah.
If you can take that 5% and just put that away in stock, 5 years, 10 years from now, what is that money going to look like?
Pretty good. A down payment on your dream home, sending your kids to college, and an icon. His daughter's 7 and 9, and he's like, I've already paid for their wedding because
it's unbelievable.
Of that.
It's unbelievable. And what we joke about it, right? Realtors, sometimes we spend our commission checks before we even get them, right? Yep. So it's like, and like I mentioned, your wages, which even if these agents that are at 100% brokerage, right? Mm-hmm. And they say, well, I'm not going to take a 20% pay cut to go to EXP, and then I got to move down to an 80-20 split. I say, okay. Well, we tell agents all the time, they're at 100% brokerage, and we say, why are you happy being underpaid? And they said, what do you mean? I'm making 100%. They said, look, you have to analyze it like this. When you take advantage of what the company is putting out there for you, the training, the opportunity, the stock, the revenue share, the agent equity program, the Icon Award, there are agents with EXP making well over 100%.
That's right.
Some of them are making 500, 600, 1,000%. Mm-hmm. You could have a company offering me right now 200% commission. I would still turn it down because I'm still being underpaid. Mm-hmm. So it's about giving up the good to go for the great, because it's so much more than your commissions. Mm-hmm. Forget the commissions. The commissions are a byproduct of what we're doing in this business, right? And not only that, here's where a lot of agents get in trouble, right? They get their 100% commission and they forget, oh, I better set aside 30% for Uncle Sam, right? I got to pay my taxes on this, right?
Yeah, so, no, and it sucks. Agents suck at that. Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it happens, right? And they say, well, I have to pay this in taxes. And it's like, well, guess what? If you would have been participating or taking advantage of what EXP has to offer, you have a hedge against that now. You have your stock that's growing. You have your revenue share that's growing. You have your revenue share coming in month after month, whether you sell anything or not.
Right.
I mean, talk about a way to offset your taxable income. You have multiple streams of income now, right? That's one of the wealth building laws, right? You need multiple streams of income. And here's a quick representation. We say, okay, would you rather be on a 1-lane street in your career or a 3-lane highway? EXP is a 3-lane highway with earning potential in each one of those 3 lanes: your commissions, your stock, and your revenue share. If you're on a 1-lane street and you hit a barrier, you hit a barricade in those commissions, you're stuck.
Right.
And that's scary. It's frightening, to tell you the truth. For those people out there that are doing real estate full time, that's frightening, right? And agents deserve better than that. Agents deserve more than that, and EXP provides that. So I'm thankful for the opportunity. I always say I wish I would have joined back then in 2016, but the most important thing is I'm here now, right? And we're here now, and we're building, and we're having fun, and what more could you ask for? We're enjoying it. So that's the most important thing.
Absolutely. And, Ellen, I think that this has been just a very insightful conversation, and this is going to be a great resource. This will probably be the episode I send to people that are really, really having a hard time deciding if they want to come over to EXP because, you left a lot on the table, your brother left a lot on the table, but there's so much to gain. And, there's a lot to lose coming over to EXP or any brokerage when you go to make a switch. It's hard to break up with your broker, and it's hard to leave transactions on the table. But if you look at it, and okay, first of all, think about if there was a better decision for your broker, what would they do, right? And a lot of people that have on their own boutique brokerages have left, and they told their team, hey, you can either come with me or you got to find something new because I'm going to EXP. And that's okay. There's so many options to do that. You can literally, people have lost their whole teams making the risk to come over here, but success leaves breadcrumbs. And I think that this has been incredible and very, insightful conversation. It's been almost an hour. I think this is my longest podcast I've had, but it's been, it hasn't felt like an hour. It's been really cool to hear your story and really cool to, just kind of field your advice for those looking to come over to EXP. And Alan, I think it's been great. Are there any last words you want to say as we wrap up today?
I'm just, I'm thankful for the opportunity. I'm thankful for y'all having us. It means a lot to be included with, such amazing agents and colleagues from all over the world. So we're EXP proud. We love what we're doing. We're having fun, and hopefully we can do another one when we, we'll keep hitting icon and keep having us back, and we'll give y'all some updates. And thank you for having us.
You're welcome back anytime, Alan. Pleasure to get to talk to you and hear your story. Will you be at EXPCon?
I've already booked. I booked my room. I already booked the flight. I got my ticket. I can't wait. I'm already counting down the weeks. I'm stoked.
I'm excited for you, Alan. That's going to be really cool. Hopefully we can catch up there. Make sure to stop by the Sphere Rocket booth or grab drinks or whatever there is to do in Vegas. Alan, thank you for your time, and I can't wait to see you again soon.
Thank you, Gianna. Y'all take care.
Bye-bye.
This Icon podcast is hosted and sponsored by Sphere Rocket Virtual Assistants, a leading provider for your virtual assistants and outsourcing needs. Owned by one of the top-ranking EXP agents, Justin Nelson. Sphere Rocket VA provides a one-stop virtual staffing solution for business owners, and we specialize in helping business owners grow their business by leveraging through virtual assistants. Trusted by the top names in the real estate industry like Kyle Whistle, Andrew Franklin, John Kitchens, and many more. Get ready to up your success and we'll help you achieve your business goals. Book your free consultation at sphererocketva.com and find out how we can make your life easier.